Hello everyone, this is Martin right over here and welcome to another weekly update. I'm going to show you how to trade Forex with my new Easy Read charts, and we're going to be looking at trading opportunities for this coming week, April 23 to the 27th. That's this coming week. So at the end of the video, I'm also going to give you some information how you can receive a free ebook. And all you have to do is contact me. My name again is Martin, MSKYJ007 at gmail.com. Okay? Now let's get to the disclaimer. Do have to talk to you about. Again, this is the disclaimer here. It's really important for you to understand that this video is for educational purposes. I do give you some pretty good information, including levels of the markets to watch where you can enter trades. But again, whatever you decide, you have to decide and view this video at your own risk. Now, I always advocate never trade with more than 2% of your account balance. So, as an example, if you have $1,000, you can afford to lose no more than $20. That is 2% of 1,000, okay? If you have $500, 2% is $10, so you can't afford to lose more than $10 per trade. And of course, if you have a lot of money, you can, again, only afford to lose 2% of whatever account balance you have. Hopefully, you remember that this way you won't get into any trouble. Okay, first of all, I want to welcome all the new subscribers from around the world. I'm getting a lot of subscribers, so thank you very much. And thank you for watching my videos and giving me some pretty good comments as well. So let's start with the EURUSD. You can see that right here. This is the daily chart. All the charts I'm showing you today are the daily charts, which means that each candle, each price bar that you see here is 1 day's worth of price movement, okay? And for the new subscribers, take a look at this red dashed line right here. Okay, so everything to the right of this line, the five candles that you see happened last week, last week's trading. So this first one right here, you can see this big one. It's a green candle. So this was the Sunday, Monday trading activity. The next candle, a bit of a doji. That's Tuesday. Wednesday, another doji. Then we had a down candle on Thursday. And finally, we ended up with a big bearish candle here. Now, the candles are color coded. Okay, they do mean something. So if you're taking my new course, and the course is called Forex Success in 5 Weeks, these mean give you some very important information as well as the charts. They're all color coded, and as we get along in this video, I'm going to explain some of the key components of this course. Okay. So the very first thing you can see, market for a long time has been going sideways, but I want you to notice something. Notice the high and low swings. Okay, what is happening? Okay, what is happening? Okay, do you see that the up and down price waves are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, which means when we're looking at technical analysis on a chart, means that sooner or later price is going to be squeezed so tight like a spring coil, and price either is going to go higher or price is going to go lower. So when you see this pattern and you see this, the price swings going up and down, getting smaller and smaller and tighter, sooner or later it's just gonna spring up or just collapse and fall down. Okay, so this is the EURUSD. I'm looking at the trading opportunities, and for next week, if price goes above 123.74, you can consider a buy trade. If you think price is going to go lower, you could look at sells below 121.76. Okay, now we're going to jump to the next chart, British Pound USD. Okay, same thing. You can see here for a long time we have an up and down movement. Okay, and This is the upper rectangle I've drawn in. That's resistance, guys, and this down here is support. Okay, so price always, you know, when you look back at price history, price goes up to resistance, then bounces lower. Price then bounces higher from the support area. Okay, so right now again, you can see. Let me just take that off. Price is now starting to go higher, making higher highs. See, higher highs, higher lows, and this is what an uptrend looks like. Okay, my easy read charts. When you see green here, this is green. When you see green above blue, we are in an uptrending pattern. Okay, now. I also have drawn in, see this blue trend line? Price broke below the trend line, but price has to get below the recent low right here for price to continue its downward movement. So if you're looking at sells, you can look at sells below 139.68 to the downside. If you think from here price is going to bounce higher, you could look at buys above 142.24. Okay, so you have to have some patience when you're trading these daily charts. Now, the next thing is, take a look down below here and here. You can see pink and pink. Now, this indicator right here, that's the short-term momentum. Short-term momentum is to the downside because we have the pink bars below the zero level. Okay, and here we're still in an uptrend. All the bars are above zero, even though they're pink right here, but it just means that the uptrend is weakening. Okay, so here again, I've given you the levels for you to watch and for you to consider. Okay, next one, we jump to the Australian USD. This one on Friday, see this big, huge bearish bar on Friday? That tumbled quite a bit. We are now sitting at support. Okay, you can see support. Price has never gone below this rectangle I've drawn in for you. And if you think price is going to go lower, then you would be looking at sells below 0.7618. If you think price is going to go higher, and take a look, we have this red dashed line, which is the 200 SMA moving average, buys above 0.7816. Okay, right now you can see here we have a lot of pink below blue, but the colors have collapsed. We only see mostly blue and a little bit of pink starting to form again, so we may have a continuation in the downside. Okay, the Australian dollar has been weak over the last over the last month or so. Let me just take that off the charts. Let's move on to gold. I talk about gold because if gold is doing really well, in other words, if the price of gold is going higher, okay, that means then the Australian dollar generally follows suit, increasing the exchange rate of the Australian dollar. But if gold is weakening, then the Australian dollar will weaken as well. So you can see last week we had a bit of a downturn pattern. Gold came down a bit. It could retest this trend line right here, okay? And when I say tests, you can see, right? Okay, so price could still come down a bit lower and then jump higher once again. So right now in the short term, I see price probably coming down a bit to retest this lower level right here, okay? And if that's the case, then Australian dollar will come down lower as well, which is what I showed you on the previous chart. Okay, now next one after the Australian dollars, New Zealand USD. Just like the Australian dollar, you can see we had a huge bearish candle on Friday, okay? Even though we have green above blue, generally when we see green above blue, it means that we're in an uptrending pattern. Uptrending, you can see with the green bars above the zero here. However, take a look, careful look, and this is part of the course, okay? Take a look. This last candle broke the trend line. We are approaching support area again. And take a look, very important right here. The blue MACD crossed the signal line here. We have the pink bars here. So short-term momentum is to the downside. And the trending indicator right here is also showing weakness. So the upside has weakened. So it's trending lower, and it certainly could come down lower. And if you think the same way as I do, now price would have to come and break the previous swing low right there. That's previous swing low. So you could look at sells below 0.7150, okay, to the downside, and to the upside, you could be looking at buys above 0.7312, okay? So let's move on to the next chart. It's the USCAD. This one, okay, this brings me to another point. The USCAD is increasing in strength, okay? So remember, take a look again here. The pair is USDCAD. Currency is traded in pairs. The first name in the currency is what you're buying or selling. If you're trading Forex, you're buying or selling the first name, in this case the USD, against the CAD, okay? And here you can see price has risen higher and broken the uptrend line, which means the USCAD, the USD, is increasing its strength against the Canadian dollar. So US dollar getting stronger against the Canadian dollar, okay? If you think price is going to go higher, buys above 127.83. And if you think price is going to go lower, you could look at sells below 126.09, okay? So again, remember this pair, USD CAD. Now, the Canadian dollar is tied in to a commodity, oil. In Canada, we do we have a lot of oil reserves, and if oil is doing really well, in other words, if oil is rising in price, that means that is strengthening the Canadian dollar, okay? Just like the gold is tied into the Australian dollar, but in this case, the Canadian dollar is tied into oil and its production. So if oil is going up in price, that means the US-CAD pair will come down, right? Because USD is getting weaker, Canadian dollar getting stronger. So if the USD has been rising in price, that means oil has generally been getting weaker. We're going to take a look at the next chart. Here it is, okay? And you can see over the last couple of days, after hitting a high, the resistance area, oil is coming down, which means that's helping the USD against the Canadian dollar. Or when oil is coming down, Canadian dollar is getting weaker. Let's go back to the chart. So a Canadian dollar getting weaker, which means the USD gaining strength against the Canadian dollar. Get it? Okay. So that's that. With oil, I see price could go up a bit higher to about here or even higher than that, but it's coming down. It's in a bit of a retracement first. So take a look at this line. This is the 8 EMA. When you see this price, if price stays above here, then price most likely will go higher. But if price closes below the 8, then we are in a pullback retracement. Okay, so just keep your eye on that. Now we move to US Swiss franc. I've drawn in an upper trend line. I've drawn in a lower trend line. So you can see price really has been in an upward channel, okay? Right? Okay, and it seems like it's going to go higher, okay, from here. So if you think price is going to go higher, then look at buys above 0.9764, okay? And obviously, if you think price is going to come down lower, you'd have to break this level, okay, to take a sell trade below 0.9586, okay? Now, this brings me to another point about technical analysis. You can always tell how well the currency is doing because all the major currencies are trading against the US dollar, right? So if US dollar is strengthening in price, then that means then the currencies trading against it are opposite, they are weakening. Okay, so here you can see prices been going higher, right? Okay, we have the bright green candles, which means momentum to the upside is really strong. Momentum to the upside is really strong in the short term. Okay, blue MACD line over the red line. Okay, these are green bars. This is our trending. So we have green bars here as well, and the trending indicator. So everything seems to be going higher. But getting back to the point, so this is the first name in the pair is the USD. So USD is strengthening against the Swiss franc. Okay, and let me just clear that for a second. So what's happening? What happened last week? Toward the end of last week, the US did gather strength and turn around against the other currencies. Let me go back to Euro USD. You can see here after midweek, the Euro USD has come down, which means the USD has been gaining strength against the Euro. Okay, now British Pound USD. British Pound fell down quite a bit from resistance. So weakness in the British Pound equaling strength in the US dollar. Okay, so the first two pairs, you can see easily the USD has been gaining strength. Australian USD. Okay, now same thing. After hitting this resistance area, prices tumbled back down, again giving strength to USD. Okay, so far, the first three pairs I've just talked about, you can easily see that the USD is gaining strength. Okay, New Zealand USD, take a look here. New Zealand, first name of the pair, again, take a look. New Zealand dollar coming down, losing strength or becoming weaker, giving resulting in strength in the US dollar again. Okay, so these four pairs, if they're all correlating together, correlating is another word meaning that they all are agreeing that the USD is gaining strength. Okay, and now we get to the opposite pairs. When you have the USD as the first name in the currency pair, then now that's opposite to the other pairs I just talked about. See, here's the Australian dollar. See, the USD is the second name. Now we get to the USDCAD. USD is the first name. Okay, so here USD is now gaining strength because all the other pairs I just talked about they were weakening against the US dollar, right? So now US dollar is gaining strength. USD Swiss franc is gaining strength. USD is getting stronger. Finally, we come to the USD Japanese yen. After rebounding off a bottom here, bouncing off the bottom support area right there, price has gone up, down, up, made a slightly higher high, slightly higher low, but now we're hitting resistance area, and I believe price could go higher, but again, caution, we are still at resistance. This whole area right here is resistance, so you could look at possible short-term buy opportunity above 107.66. Short-term, sell to the other side if price does go back down. Look for sells below 106.76. Okay, so we just recently started making let me take that off. See, we have a little bit of green above blue, so we recently started making a new trend reversal, reversing to the upside. Okay, and that's what my easy read charts show you. It is very easy to follow my charts. All the information, all the colors, they do mean something. You can see here, pink below blue means you're only looking for sell trades. You're only looking for sell trades when you have pink below blue. This is an exhaustion area, okay? And all of a sudden we start a new uptrend, and we have signals here as well. Okay, so signals to the upside. Now, let's move on to another chart. After the US Japanese yen, I talk about a cross pair. This time, the Europe, right here. Take a look down below at my mouse cursor. Europe, British pound, and you can see that right here. The EURGBP, okay? And here we were making a pretty good downtrend with good momentum. However, we are in what's called a deep pullback. That's all this is. So again, we're making a downtrend with good momentum, right? But now we have a very impulsive pullback. So from here, we have to wait and see. You could look at buys above 0.8783 or sells below 0.8686. Okay, now we move to the Euro Japanese yen. Okay, and again, you can see, just going to show you, we had been making an uptrend. Okay, and now we're hitting a kind of a resistance area. So the last couple of days were indecisive. They're both two dojis, last Thursday, last Friday. And if you think price is going to go higher, you look at buys above 132.64. If you think price is going to go lower and break the support zone in this gray rectangle, then look at sells below 131.40. Okay, so that's that pair. And now we move on to the Euro Audi. Now Euro has made a turnaround. Okay, you can see the Euro made a high, hit resistance, came back down, up a bit, down. Okay, right there. This is support, a minor support area, and now it looks like it's starting to take off to the upside again. We have one bright green candle, but take a look, and this is part of the new course again. Take a look here. We have a blue dot and a large blue arrow. This is a signal candle I teach in the course. It's called a momentum boost or Mo boost trend continuation. So I'm looking at price going higher, and you can actually look at buys above 160.26 just based on this signal. This is a bullish signal that I teach in the course. Okay, so buys above 160.26. If for any reason price goes up a bit and comes back down, you could also look at sells below 158.46. Okay, so that is that. And I think we've got the last pair, British pound, Japanese yen. So the GBPJPY, this is the daily chart. Look what happened last week. Okay, so price went up, price then went, here up to a minor a resistance area, and then what? Then price just collapsed, right? Just collapsed. And this is what we call a really deep pullback. Now, I've drawn a couple of things in for you. Here is, you can see this trend line, okay? And take a look how this trend line acts as dynamic support. Take a look here, take a look here, take a look here. Every time prices come back down to the trend line, it just bounces higher. So I can almost expect price to bounce higher, or price could actually break below this area for the first time, right? And if you think price is going to break below the trend line, then look for sells below 150.46. If you think price is going to bounce higher, then look at buys above 151.84. Okay, so right now we are in an uptrending pattern. We have made, here's a high, here's a higher high. Okay, you can see the green bars up to this point, green bars were above zero. Green bars in the trending indicator right here show that we were in a pretty good uptrend. However, take a look. All of a sudden, the blue line crossed below the red line. We have some pink bars below zero. That means the short-term momentum is increasing to the downside. Okay, it's short-term to the downside, and the uptrend is weakening. So from here, it's a wait and see situation. Price will either do one of two things. One, break the trend line and come back down to here. I've drawn in the support with the gray rectangle, or even come down lower all the way to this dashed red line, which is the 200 SMA, and the 200 always acts as a magnet. So when price is close to the 200, price usually touches the 200 and then bounces higher, okay? But in this case right now, if you think price is going to break lower, one more last time, looking for sells below 154.86, or you could look for a possible bounce higher above 151.84. So that takes care of this video, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. And as I mentioned, if you want to get my information on my new course right here, it's called Forex Success in 5 Weeks. It's a free 33-page ebook that I've got for you. Just email me. My name is Martin at mskyj007@gmail.com, okay? And I'll send you the 33-page ebook at no further obligation from you. You can look at it and decide if you're interested in this new course. And this is part of it. You get all these new charts, which makes it easy for you to understand which way the trend is going. Okay, so also when you email me, please do me a favor and give me your first name. Don't give me some crazy name or something. Give me your real first name. I'm not going to do anything with your email. I will send you your 33-page ebook, but out of courtesy, just give me an email so I know who I'm sending this ebook to. Okay, and again, click on the subscribe button so you make sure you get all my future weekly videos. Take care, everyone. We'll talk to you again next week. Bye for now.